Hey everybody, it's Chris and Des Show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Des.
And today we're going to talk to you about Martin Scorsese's new 3.5-hour epic, The Irishman.
That is what it is, exactly.
The reviews are amazing, first of all.
Well, I don't know about that.
And I just got a pop-up on my phone that said it's Martin Scorsese's best reviewed film since Goodfellas. And we're going to tell you why in just a second.
Well,
Des,
here's why. Let me tell you why. This movie is 3.5 hours long that just fly by.
Mm-hmm.
You do not even... I was so engaged in Robert De Niro and what he was doing and why he was doing it and everything that was going on. And all the acting in this movie is stellar. It's all these characters that you've known and you already have affinity for before they even say anything out of their mouth. It is epic because it starts, it's like flashback, he starts and so he's an old guy, and then he's reminiscing about everything that went down. And then it integrates into actual history, and it talks about real people. And okay, so here's my question. Is this based on a true guy?
That's a good point, because
there's historical fact in this movie, or historical people.
Yeah, because Al Pacino plays Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy Hoffa. Which is compelling. I'm telling you, that is compelling. It may be less for younger people who don't have the thing, but I remember Jimmy Hoffa. I remember all that. Just barely. I mean, I was a little kid, but still, I was like,
you get a different view of what happened to Jimmy Hoffa in this movie.
For sure. It was good, and I loved it. I just loved it. What did you think?
Yeah. There's just not enough good things you can say about this man named Martin Scorsese. Some people know how to direct and make movies. This man is one of those people. And we did a movie day, and we saw three movies. And it was our middle one. And the one before it was good, not as good as this one. The one after it was not very good, and nowhere near as good as this one. And the difference, I think, for all three of them is the director. It's just Martin knows how to... Because this movie, we were saying, we saw another movie after, Motherless Brooklyn, stay tuned. It was long. It was 2.5 hours. It was long. Oh boy, you felt every minute of that movie. This movie, I remember being like, oh, okay, 3.5 hours, like, let's prepare ourselves.
Yeah, we got some snacks. For it because, okay.
And it was like, oh my gosh, it's done? Oh, wow, that was amazing.
Really?
That's how good it is. And so, people are talking like, is he going to win Best Director again? I dare you to find somebody who is a better director than this man. And in this movie, it is so good. And let's talk about Joe Pesci for a second. They begged him to come back. He retired, right?
He's so cute in this movie.
So good in this movie. I think the best acting he's ever done. And he has an Oscar for a different Martin Scorsese film, for Goodfellas.
So good.
I think he deserves it for this one, too.
Oh,
he's fantastic.
He's so good in this movie.
I understand if they want to give it to Brad Pitt for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because he's kind of like the fun vote in that movie. And he's great in that movie, too. But Joe Pesci is good, real good. And Robert De Niro him and Marty just work so well together. And then you throw in Al Pacino, and you throw in Anna Paquin, and you throw in Bobby.
Al Pacino
was great too.
Was really good.
And Bobby
Cannavale. And it's been a long time since I've said that about Al Pacino.
Yeah,
because he's been struggling. He's been choosing some horrible movies and things, and he was on Broadway for a while, and it didn't work out. It was not good. And
Harvey Keitel's in it, and he has like this part, not a big part, but this significant part. And even the guy who played Stephen Graham, who played the guy that Jimmy Hoffa didn't like, was really good as well too.
Oh yeah, he was good,
real good. And Ray Romano and they all
not a huge
just
part, but there's a lot of people in it that are really good,
and they're all like at the top of their game. Which says a lot about Marty, too. Like, he can get these actors to a level of, like, this is where they should all be at. And they all are fantastic. It's just, everything's good. The music in it's so good. The way it's shot is so great. The editing's great. The writing is fantastic. the thing is, you don't even realize. I was telling you, I was like, I think we laughed more in
Oh,
that
yeah.
movie than almost any other movie we've seen this year.
There's
has
some
some really
moments that
funny
are
times.
just- it's not a comedy by
Right.
any means.
No, it's not.
It has some really good zingers in there that are like.
I think
really
that
funny.
just. I wish we could. I almost wish like they could have recorded the audience's reaction
Right?
to this movie because that shows you how good it is. Everyone's like laughing,
Yeah.
and then they're like into it, and we all are on the same page. Like, oh, this guy's gonna go talk to this guy. Like, oh no, I know what he's gonna talk. Not talk. They don't talk.
Yeah.
That's not what they do in the mob. And so everyone knows. Like, oh, you can feel it in there. It was.
And
a
and
great
that's the fun part
experience.
about going to these movies when they're just opening. Like we had to drive all the way into LA to see this movie, but it was packed. It was a theater that was
Sold
packed
out,
full of
yeah.
people who were all into it and responded so well. It's just really fun
That's
to
great.
see movies that way.
And I would say, you can watch it for free on Netflix at the end of this month. But I
Oh.
would say this is a movie you should see in the movie theater if you get a chance.
I would.
I would too.
I don't know.
It's big and expansive too. Like he's taking you through like 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s
Yeah,
because he wants you to be in all
Epic.
these things.
It is an epic.
And they do that like face stuff to make Robert De Niro look really
that
young.
was
Whatever.
the only part that I was like, because you can, when we first meet Joe Pesci, they meet over like fixing a car, and so they've got Joe Pesci at this weird angle, and so his head just, I could tell that they were. I could see the set special effects. I was like, and it pulled me out just a little bit. But other than that, it's really well done.
Well, it's so cool. I think it's so interesting they can do that now. Like back in the day, you just had
Isn't
to
that
get another
crazy?
actor to play him when he was younger, and you're like, oh, this guy's supposed to be Joe Pesci. Now it's like, oh, that's still Joe
No,
Pesci.
it's still Joe
Wow,
Pesci.
that's crazy. About 30 years ago or 40
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's a brilliant movie. If it wins Best Picture, there'll be no argument for me on that.
No,
I
not
would
at
say
all.
I get it.
It would earn
I
it
totally
for
get
sure.
it. I totally get it. So I'd say go see it. If you like Martin Scorsese, if you like mobster movies, if you like any of those actors,
Yeah.
this is the movie you should go see. Okay. Bye.
Bye.